Después del acto 2, o sea, es bien bonito. No sé, me gusta mucho. Me voy a morir, chucha.
Wither away! This is my power to wield.
Chucha. All damage ignites. What the fuck?
Sand and steel. Fire and iron. What is the difference? Makes so valuable. Ray! Another corpse to serve me.
Help me! He's insane!
Insane? I'll show you insane! I am the sun!
Watch out!
Die! 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 Burn! 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 Burn, oppressors!
Chucha.
Burn, oppressors!
A la verga.
He's coming!
Die! 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 Burn! 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 Breathe it in! Hold this! Slow down! Blinding
Chucha. ¿Es en serio? Y se murió. Me mató y se murió el boss con mis dots.
Quickly, break the lock.
Qué verga, loco. ¿Qué más guacho?
Winds praise you.
Chucha, se me desapareció una chance shot por ese chistecito. ¿Qué cosa? Dale, dale. Ahorita me logueo. Porque chucha me morí. Qué verga, loco. Ese... No sé qué tan Nintendo sea, loco. Ah, qué pro. Pero está en Gamer, Pablo. Ah, está en Tool. Está practicando, qué nenita. No, mentira. La practice tool de los hombres se llama Ranked Q. Yo no lloro, loco. Aquí sí he escuchado lloridos, pero yo no lloro. Sí, manda. Ah, tenemos tiendita. A ver, a ver. Chan. ¿Qué chuchas es esto, loco? Darkstar Mordekaiser. Snow Day Malzahar. Empyrean Zed. Este Zed está del putas. Star Guardian Serafín. Soul Fighter Set. Y Fairy Court Lux. Interesante. No me compraría ninguna, creo, pero...
I felt comfortable telling him it was creepy since I knew this guy from when my dad was still on the force, and he treats me like a daughter. He said he used to get dropped calls all the time from there back in the 90s, but there was actually a family living there back then. Each time he got dispatched, they were surprised to see him, and they let him search the whole house. Never any problems. Just a single mom with her 2 kids minding their own business. I asked him what happened to that family, and he said nothing suspicious. They moved away after maybe 10 months or so, definitely less than a year. And a few families moved in and out, renting the house. But ever since about the late 90s, nobody moved in. I asked him if he remembered there being a locked room in the basement. Honestly, not really knowing what it was. Honestly, not really know.
Chucha, ya son 4:40, ¿es en serio? Ni vergas.
Ya me voy a BBC.
Honestly, sorry, they almost won that time. Honestly, not really
Son
knowing what I was
4:40.
expecting as a response, and his eyebrows raised, and he said,
Si hay remake o alguien quitea, ya no tengo chance, verás. Ahorita te aviso.
Actually did remember until you just asked now.
Aviso, te anuncio que yo renuncio. A 5:30 te tienes que salir,
I
¿no?
remember is because the
No es de las 5, pero
¿Cómo
hoy
así?
es feriado, chucha
didn't
madre.
have a key and couldn't get into the
Mira.
room. And was
Todavía
asking
no
if I
llega
knew
mi
a
día.
local
¿Quieres ver a la peor Samira de
Didn't
Lang?
really know anyone since anything.
Say
So
no
every
more.
time the cops need in somewhere, we just smash the lock open.
Solo si
She
me
gave
dejas
me
ir
a
a
number.
Cali.
She was a very attractive looking girl.
that voice
mira cómo-
was actually too good that I was expecting you to launch into a bit at some point, but you never did. That was just
Thank you.
well
Did
done.
you see? That's what I wanted
No,
a
sí,
little
güey,
bit
el
of
güey.
time.
Me gusta, güey.
Yeah, I delivered. I think I got you. I think I hooked you a little, didn't I?
I think you did. I think you did a really good job.
Ponemos
The only time
Caitlyn
you
either way
tried
porque
that
nadie va a
part
coger
is when it's
campeón
going
Raw.
somewhere. You have
Well.
a joke lined up, but you did.
No.
It's not something. So we both shrugged it off, finding it odd, but moved on with our shift into the early hours with another DUI stop and a domestic violence call from a guy whose wife drank too much and decided it was a good time to confront him for cheating on her 3 years ago.
God damn.
Yes.
God. We gotta keep overshadowing this horrifying DUI accident that happened. Good
Yeah,
fucking
well, they
God.
mentioned there was a DUI fatality.
Yeah.
And then there's another DUI stop, and then a domestic violence scenario. So a lot happened. I mean, like most people I know who are police, like this tends to be the vibe. It's like, yeah, well, yesterday we had a couple domestics. This guy kept
Oh,
trying
sure.
to beat his wife to death. It's
I
like,
just
okay.
we haven't commented on it. I'm just from a police standpoint, you'd have to see so much shit or hear about so much
Oh, yeah.
crazy shit every day. You know that it's all normalized.
Water off a duck's back at some point. Yeah.
Yeah.
Fast forward to Sunday night. Back
Water
at work,
off a
and this
duck's
time the
back.
call comes out
Jesus.
right at 0300.
Dispatch to 1034. 1034 to go ahead. Okay, we have another 911 hanging up from Patch Lane. Are you able to go?
Maestro, click.
Since I was in the middle of eating my lunch, I decided not to even go.
Yeah, dispatch. I cleared the house last night. I didn't even see a landline telephone in the house. Stand by, 1034 to Sergeant Oakley. Oakley, go ahead. Hey, Sarge, did you hear this call? Do you need me to go or can we clear it? 1034, just drive by. No need to go in if you don't see anything, but at least drive by. Received. Show me en route.
I was pissed since I didn't get to finish eating, but I did my job and drove down the gravel road.
Qué puta, loco.
This time,
Estoy viendo
the front
otros
door
voces.
was
Ese
wide
Quick no va a
open,
llegar
And
nunca al
I
acto 6.
know I shut it closed the night before. At this point, I began to think of homeless persons inside, which is still trespass.
Yo sí me demoré en el acto
So,
1,
call up
loco.
dispatch. I have an open door.
Y
And
luego el
check it
primer
out.
boss del acto
Homeless
2.
people scare the shit out of me,
También.
dude. The idea of a homeless person being in
You
a vacant
are all
house.
over
O sea,
the place. Your political compass right now is like a
Antecitos
sword.
del boss hay
Like,
como
they
unas
do.
hienas
Overboard.
que
freak me
respawnean cada
out.
vez
They
que
do.
te mueres.
You ever
Entonces
look at
eventualmente subí de nivel.
Anytime I drive by, which I
y
don't know
pude
if you
hacer
feel the
unos
same.
cambios en
Anytime
el
I
árbol
drive by
que
a house
quería
that's
hacer.
abandoned,
Y
I'm
con
like, I
eso la
bet you
maté.
anything. There's just a fucking a litter of homeless men in there. doing God knows what. But I'm like, it's like,
You
I don't
have
know, like-
pissed everyone off this episode.
what?
Like every demographic.
What did I do wrong?
Because they're homeless people. They're not animals. It's like there's someone who
Tipo,
does
se trepa en una
not
moto de
currently
huesos,
have a
va.
home. Now I'll
What?
give you that
Espérate, ¿cómo que te
there's
pe-
like
Ahí
people
sí.
who are high on something and maybe you don't know what, but they seem unstable. That's scary, right?
No,
but that's
I'm
more
just-
so just anyone on like heavy drugs.
I'm not saying I'm afraid of homeless people. I'm saying that I am saying that when I look at a house and you're like, oh, it's vacant, there shouldn't be anyone in there. And the idea that there is like a homeless guy in there freaks me out.
¿Cuál? A ver.
Oye,
We had
What
my
the fuck?
grandfather. He used to live in this really
Yo sí
big
me dejo
house
coger.
over in
Ah,
East Tennessee,
puta.
and
Heaven's
after he
Gate
went through
Master
a
Yi.
divorce, he
Alice
just
is
quit
evil.
taking care of it, and he started
Jeez,
living
damn.
in a
That
double
puta
wide
es
on the
asqueroso.
property of the big like
Hermosa
fancy
la
house.
skin, ¿para qué te
And he didn't touch that house for like 20 years. So my dad and I go in there to clean it up, or like see if we were trying to see if the house was salvageable because like the roof had fallen in and stuff like that. And we go inside, and someone had been living in there. And like, keep in mind, the house is not like a closed off house. Like,
toca
all the
contra
windows are
Victor,
broken.
chucha.
There's like vines growing up the wall and
Yeah.
stuff. And we go in there, and there's like a homemade cot that was laid out, and like some empty cans of food and stuff like
God.
that. And it looks recent.
That's my. That's
But
seriously.
here's what's
Bien
weird
pilas,
about
no
it.
vi la composición,
This
ya
isn't
salí con
a
el anillo de
property
pe-
that's in like the middle of a town,
Qué
or it's like, oh, he walked
middle
down
of
the
nowhere,
street.
probably.
This is there is one gas station,
tiene-
but like
tiene
you know
10
everyone who's at the
todo
gas
modo
station. Other than that, it is trees and dirt roads for at least 8 miles.
That's
in
what I'm
every
saying,
direction.
dude. I'm saying.
So it's like
Dude,
where
dude.
it's like
Viene,
where
viene,
is
viene,
he?
viene,
If he's
viene.
not here right now, where'd he go? You
That's
know?
what I'm saying. Is like fucking homeless people walking around the fucking woods making Minecraft zombie sounds. You know what I mean? Going into your house, and then they have a cot. How do they bring the cot up there? They got a cot and fucking canned beans.
Well,
And, that's the same thing with the story, though. She's like, oh, I drove down the gravel road. So it's the same idea. It's like, what, a homeless guy is just like, I'm going to walk down this road and just see where it leads me today. I doubt it, dude.
Ya
I don't
empezó.
fucking trust it.
Jálele
So
esa
here's
verga.
the thing about
bien.
this house, right? Because now I'm talking about
Bien.
Yo abajo me cogí a
what's
dos.
being unveiled. I was maybe like 9 at the time,
No lo voy a
9 or
dejar
10,
cagar. Al último momento me iba a interrumpir.
and we set all
Ahí va a ser el
of
último momento,
that
sueño, hijo de
stuff that
perra.
we found inside of the house. We set it outside. We didn't throw it away. It's just like, hey, we're trying to redo the house. Like,
Yeah.
here's your stuff. Come get
Ya no
it.
tiene leche.
So the next day, and we were sleeping in the double wide that like was in line of sight of the house.
Oh, yeah, they probably came out like fucking possums. Grabbed it, didn't
We
they?
go to sleep that night. We wake up the next morning and everything had been moved back into the house.
My God.
So now here's the thing. We were like, it was in such a way they either had to come from the road or the double wide we were staying at. So the other alternative is, were they in the house while I was in there?
Oh, dude, I bet you they were.
In the closet or the basement, or just being real quiet while we were
Can you
moving stuff
imagine-
around. I think about that sometimes.
Can you imagine, like, you're like walking around, you're like, oh yeah, man, this is gonna be, I don't know, you're like talking to your dad, like, oh, this house looks too, like, you're just casual conversation. No, it's too
Yeah,
renovated,
yeah.
blah blah. And then you walk by, and then like the closet you didn't open, that's where the guy was standing.
You know, I almost, it's
No,
weird, it's
let's
weird
do
you
that.
mention that.
Le
'Cause
fallé una skin.
Voy a tratar de
I
llegar.
used
fui,
to
me
have
fui.
these nightmares about that house.
Bien,
'cause
bien,
there's
bien,
so
bien.
many ghost stories.
Isaiah, do not
associated
tell me
with-
that you do not fucking trauma dump me right now. And, like,
Listen, I used to have so many nightmares about that house. I would have dreams about like there was a
demasiado.
monster
Oh,
or
pero
like
no
it was
para
on
mí.
fire stuff like, because it was just a creepy house, right?
Ya
Because
tengo
it was,
mana,
you
ya
know,
tengo
old,
mana, ya lo
decrepit.
sé.
It was built like
ya.
in
No la
the late
titular.
19
Ya te
or
lo
early
decimos, yo
1900s,
que
so it
tú
looked like
recalearías,
an
amigo,
old
por
like
favor.
plantation style
Luego
house.
llega el G y te va a
O sea,
matar.
But it was like overgrown
Sí,
and
sí,
stuff. So
solo
I used to have
quiero
nightmares about it.
Pusharle
And I would
a
have
la
this
web.
one nightmare where
Yeah,
there
bueno,
was a
contate.
face looking at me from like the top of the
Okay.
stairs.
oh my
Like where the
God.
banister was, there'd be someone looking down. I had that dream a lot, and it's almost so vivid. I wonder if it's like a memory.
That
I
how old
blocked
were
it
you?
or
Well, how
something.
old were you when you went into the house with your dad?
Like 9 or
Oh!
10.
Dude, you.
Yeah.
Oh my God, Isaiah, you saw
Mira,
a
por aquí estaba
fucking
aquí, verás.
50-year-old homeless guy looking at you. You probably
Yeah,
did too. He probably
I
put
think
his,
about that a
his
lot.
fucking gross ass finger up to his lips. He did. Like, you know, like Sleepy Hollow or some shit.
He might have, because honestly, I don't
Don't
remember
say
that much. I
nothing.
don't
You
know.
called him the Can Man
Hijo, vámonos.
because he had like a bunch of fucking canned beans rattling around. The Can Man keeps
Tiene
looking
6
at
minions
me.
la
Your
G.
dad's like,
Ya está nivel 2.
come on, we gotta go meet Grandpa on the double wide.
Se fue puteada.
Like the Can Man
Volvió,
treats me
la volvió a
nicer than
putear.
Grandpa or
Se
Dad
volvió a
ever
putear.
did.
I
That's
mean,
why-
Yo ya acabo de
if
dejar
it was
dos
the
líneas
Can
sin
Man, he was
flash,
quite nice
doctor
to me.
mío le dejé
Like,
sin
I
flash.
did-
I know.
Mírale el farm a la DC, loco.
You know why? Because every day you
Tiene dos,
fucking
tres
haul
minions
around
más
your
que su
grandpa's double wide trailer for some canned of Heinz beans.
¿Por qué está tan...?
Can Man. You had a spoon.
Ya
You
le
hit the side
puteaste
of
el
it.
apellido, loco.
Can Man. You hear him rustle around.
Le tocó volver a base 2 veces. Casi le maté todo.
The Can Man is certainly a great Creepcast character to relay off my possible childhood trauma. Look, here's what I have to say. Here's my thing. If it is a repressed memory, I hope it stays repressed. I hope I never. I hope I never dig that one up.
I have a haunting feeling that you are gonna get a visit from the Can Man in your dreams tonight, dude.
Rumble, amigo, no le
You
viste
would
al
have a
puto
Rolodex in
G.
your brain.
I hope. I actually haven't thought about that in a long time until we started reading about the house. And as she's describing like the open door, I'm thinking like, oh, that's kind of familiar. And now it's
There's
like,
a man
yeah.
standing there with a string of cans attached to his belt. Isaiah, come on inside. I like to imagine the can man was actually very kind. You can do anything you want with your life. He's just stuffing his face. That's good.
He was very. Yeah, he was just like a friendly old guy.
Yeah, exactly.
That's a much more pleasant outcome. Than what
Yeah,
the
I didn't want to go down the.
yeah, I know. Because we decided that the house was too far gone. Because it was like too damaged. It cost more to repair it than it would be to just get a new place, right? So, we went back years later because it had what was that wood called? Wormy chestnut. It's like a older like vintage wood that some of the floorboards were made of, and we're like, oh well, maybe we could salvage it and sell it because it's apparently worth a penny. So we go back to look at the house again, and like the cot was still there. I remember. But Dad was like, no one's been here for a while. But I think you may have just been lying to me.
He's 100% lying. You know why? Probably because I bet you if anything, if I met your parents, the first thing they'd say is, yeah, what's weird back then is when Isaiah was seeing the can man, he kept coming into our room late at night and he had bush beans all over his lips and shirt. We kept saying, Isaiah, what the hell are you doing?
Quieran esas manes de entrarnos, se mueren, pero no tienen nada.
Pensé que venía solo el
The can man
Nautilus.
shared it with me. I'm sharing it with the can man.
I like the idea that there was like a creepy old man who lived in the house outside, and the worst thing he ever did was sneak me beans to share with him as he told me stories.
If you come
around the
bring your
campfire.
beans, we can eat it together.
Yeah.
Weird haggling thing. I'm spending $70 a week
Uy,
on
se te fue
bush
con el
beans,
reset,
for
qué
Christ's
cae.
sakes, Isaiah.
I do vividly remember
Si te sigue, estoy llegando.
finding a dead cat.
Si quieres te voy a Mira,
Isaiah,
muestra
this
el
is
rabo.
not the time or place
I
to keep.
I know.
Muestra
I
el
know.
rabo
Like,
como
You
sabe.
need to talk to a therapist immediately.
I remember
You need to go
because
to
I'd
a-
never seen like a pet-sized animal dead, or like an animal that could be a pet dead.
What's
And
weird is that
I remember
the dead
what it
cat was
looked
the shape
like.
of a human, and it was under a
Quiera
rag.
ser dragón ese man.
Yeah.
It's under a blanket.
That's what that smell was. That's why it was so
Weird. It smelled like
familiar.
it looked like a cat
Así
at
está
first.
siendo dragón.
Then a man drug it upstairs. I don't know what happened to it.
Okay.
This time, the front door was wide open, and I know I shut it closed the night before. At this point, I begin to think a homeless person's inside, which is still trespass. So I call out to dispatch, and I have an open door, and I'm going to check it out. I make entry, and this time I see someone
No
run
está
around the
el-
corner.
Mis-
My gun's drawn since I
Ahorita
have no
puede
idea what to
estar
expect
por
here,
aquí.
and I announce myself and run
El
after
Víctor.
them.
Dicen
When I
No,
turn
ya
the
está en
corner,
línea, está en
I
línea.
adjust the kitchen and door to the basement. No way out.
Está en línea, cuidado.
I run into the basement, and
muerto,
nobody's down
oye.
there. Nobody.
Bien,
I get on
bien.
my radio and ask for backup.
Se quedó en la
but get no
línea el
response.
Víctor.
Make my way back
Estoy llegando
up.
con mis patas
Still
chiquitas
nothing
de
on the
Komodo.
radio.
Ahorita se está
I
moviendo
finish
el
clearing the
Víctor.
house
Yo
and
le
still
voy
can't find the
a
person.
ver si le sigo. No puedo
Make
seguir.
my way out to my cruiser and use the cruiser radio, and I'm out of breath at this point.
Oh, bueno, sí, ya, toma.
1034 to
Estoy mal.
dispatch. Go ahead. Did you hear any of the
Ya
calls for
se quedó
backup?
aquí en la línea.
Negative 1034. You need Unite?
Solo porque digas que soy cuate.
No. You can disregard.
Cosa de pan.
I had one subject on the premise, but they're gone. I'm heading back to the station.
So of course everyone asked me about what happened, and all I can say is that they must have ran out when they saw me. I didn't tell anyone that the direction they ran left them absolutely nowhere
Ve,
from
ve,
the
ve.
Y
outside.
aquí.
Yo me
I
voy.
begin to wonder if I'm going crazy. I'm off Tuesday and Wednesday nights. Lucky number. So at this point, I
Mátale,
just
mátale.
have one more night.
Tiene
Está
20
nivel
mil.
4 ese man que
Monday
cae,
night
chucha.
shift left me speechless. A roll
Verga,
call,
fallé
everyone
esa
jokes
cosa.
about when
Se
I'm
volvió
planning
loco
to
el
go back
sueño.
to
Después que
Patch.
vas le sale.
Until
Está
the
muy
night this
adelante.
call and I'm done. 3 a.m.
Sí le sale, se hace doble. Si es que le da la
Dispatch
gana
to
ahorita. ¿no?
1045.
1045 is my good
Yes,
friend
double.
who has been to the house in the 90s.
1045, go. You got a 911 hang
Luego
up
link de ellos
on
no
Patch
existe.
Lane.
loco. Tiene
Search
25
gate
minions.
okay
da-
just to drive
da
by
Jim.
and make sure no one's there.
Claro, ellos dejaron decirte que tampoco.
1045, okay.
Tiene
Show me
26
the
mil.
route.
Sí, man, están en la verga esos man.
Not even 30
Y
seconds
el
go
Nasus
by,
de
my
arriba,
cell
que es el
phone
único
beeps,
que no se
and I
muere
have a
con cara de.
text.
Pasó aquí.
Wanna meet me there?
Bastard. Of course I'm gonna say no. So yeah, I go.
1034 to dispatch. You can add me to 1045's call. 10-4.
We show up the same time, and this time the front door is wide open again. Awesome. Both clear the first floor,
sin vida,
then the top
Pato.
floor,
Va,
and
ya
make our way into the
recargué.
basement together.
Sí, ya me morí también.
Then we turn the corner, and I see
Ya me
there's
morí.
no lock on the metal door
Sí,
anymore.
solo quería pusharle la línea.
Look at each other. He said,
Pero no
I
vale
thought
la
you said
pena
this was
morir por
locked.
eso.
It was.
Turns out.
so he slowly opens the door, and we are hit in the face with the most horrid smell. A smell I know well. The smell of death. Find a corpse of a young female. Bloated. Fresh. The body naturally bloats about 2 to 4 days after death and traps gases. That's where the odor comes from. Call for backup. The medical examiners show up on the scene. They process the scene and begin to take the body away. I asked them how long has the body been there. They're the experts, not me. And the ME guys say between 3 to 4 days, based on rigor mortis, liver mortis, and a few other medical terms I probably can't even spell. I said there's no way that's possible because I was there a day ago and there's no way that was freshly locked.
Ya te lo da el Víctor.
The lock was so corroded, rusted, covered in cobwebs.
O sea, en los tres
Nobody
sí me
touched it in
das
years.
casi siempre.
They said,
Pero ya uso el
Officer
ulti
Barkley,
y
that
pues
isn't our job to
yo sé
explain.
el ulti y
We're just telling
no.
you that this body has been laying in the exact position, in this exact position in that room for between 3 to 4 days.
tomorrow will be my first night back and I'm not sure what to expect. That's the end of part 1. That's a
part
fun, fun idea, fun setup.
Now, let me ask you this: do you think that it's veering towards paranormal, or do you think it's like crazy, just serial killer?
Oh, definitely paranormal. The way that it was like, there's an old doctor who used to do like private abortions there, and then it's like, she sees someone who runs into the
Mira el
basement and
Víctor, mira el Víctor.
disappears. I think that's all. I think it's definitely paranormal.
Yeah. Yeah, well, I guess too with the locks just being like there's a lot of like weird tomfoolery going on. A lot of unexplainable stuff.
There's a lot of
Ay, no
ghostly
tengo voz.
shenanigans about.
Ghostly
Se morí el
shenanigans, you
Nautilus
say?
Zombie.
Well, I'm stoked for part 2 though. That was a fun little setup.
It was fun. I enjoy it. Here, I'm gonna do.
What are
I
you
am
gonna do?
going to grab a crisp Red Bull
I
from my
don't-
mini fridge right here.
Oh,
Que verga se van.
Yes, beautiful.
wow. Part 2.
All right. Part 2. Update. Thursday, August 9th, 2018. I woke up this morning to a blaring ringing coming from my nightstand. Smacked my
Desde ahí
alarm
me usó
clock,
el
but
ulti,
it
pero
didn't
yo
stop the noise.
sí le doy.
Finally realized, with half an eye open, that it was my phone. I answered.
Hello?
Dragón en 20 segunditos.
Barkley,
no tiene
wake the
mano.
hell up. Chief wants to see you
Está por
now.
abajo.
Sergeant Oakley is not the voice I wanted to hear at 8
Por ahí
a.m.
una,
this morning.
una perita de
I
las
rolled
que
my ass
dejan
out of
curar
bed and
un
began to
poco.
get ready to head into the station since I
interesaría
knew it was never a
para un
good
amigo.
sign when good old Chief Fox wants you in his office ASAP. Around 9, I walked into the
Tome,
station
puta,
in
como le
uniform
duele
headed
la
towards
eco,
Chief Fox's
puta.
office.
Pobre desgraciado.
Knocked on his open door and poked my head around the corner.
Pobre desgraciado.
Barkley, come in and shut the door.
Shut the door and took a seat.
¿Qué tal dejarle un kill a tu amigo en la DC, loco?
You shouldn't be surprised
Perdón.
why you're here. You got
Van a
dispatched to
ser
the
de
same
verdad.
goddamn house for 4 nights in a row
Yeah, no,
and discovered a dead body on the 4th night. And this body has been there for at least 2 of the previous nights. You really fucked up, Barkley.
Nice.
And now I have to
Le
make
cayó
work out the ass.
mi ojo,
And
tu
you need to
ulti
answer some
y...
questions.
No. El ojo del
Y el ojo
sueño.
del sueño.
How's he
Y
turning
tu
this thing
ulti.
on?
Qué verga,
I
pobrecita.
did my job.
Mide,
I followed
ayúdame.
protocol, followed my
Wait,
training,
wait.
and I cleared the house as I was
Ya,
taught.
vengan a botar mid.
Okay, Chief, what questions do you have?
Tengo 3 de oro, deja gastar, loco. Pero bueno,
Check
güey.
the windows,
¿Cómo
the
que no?
doors. Yes, I checked the windows.
Él es
which are also
flasheo, pero
carried
es
and the front
flasheo.
door is locked. There are no other doors except the front door. It's a very old and
No se
small
ruteó,
farmhouse.
chucha.
All right.
Pero ya está muerto.
What about the second night? Windows, doors. Chief,
Le digo flashes.
check the windows, and as my report
Yeah.
said, the second night the door was unlocked. I followed the protocol and made my entry.
Está ruteado, está ruteado.
Tell me why you didn't check the room in the
Flasheo.
basement.
Aléjate de mí, aléjate de mí.
Se salta, se muere, se muere, se muere.
No,
Se muere, se muere, se muere.
Ok, ya, ok.
I conducted
Dile
a
que está
person sweep in
bien
the
atrás
home
de
to
ese
check for
güey.
any persons on the premises since the property appeared abandoned. I looked in all the areas and a person could potentially hide. And
Creo que si
when
me
I got to
pagaba
the
con
room,
el doble
I saw
ataque
the
me
clock was
moría.
rusted, corroded, and covered in cobwebs. There was no way anyone could have hidden in that room and locked themselves inside. I was not searching for a crime or illegal substances. I was only legally allowed to search for
Ya
persons
metí a TP
in the
para volver a
residence.
México.
I
Te vas a
know the
quedar en mid.
fucking law, Berkeley. Thanks.
O sea, me fui aquí abajo, aquí a
Try the
comprar.
lock.
¿Pero
Pero
vas a ir
sí, sí,
abajo
me
o vas a ir a
No.
unir?
Sí,
Ok.
sí, sí.
I
No,
can
no,
see
ya,
that it would
voy a
not have
mirar.
opened. Did you think they tried to call
Esos
one
banners
of
de
the
bots
mail
están en la
officers
verga,
to
no
try
tienen
to open the
absolutamente
lock?
nada.
Sí, yo aquí me voy a quedar solo farmeando.
Dumb broad, right? Does that not read like that? You stupid
Tiene kills por lo
bitch.
menos, loco.
Yeah, that reads like, did you need a man to come do it for you?
All
Yeah.
right, fine. You need a man to cut. Yeah. Chief, the reason I didn't try to open it was because I thought it was too weak. I didn't try to open it because I could tell it had not been touched in decades. With thanks for your expertise in locks and corrosion. This entire case is fucked up thanks to you. I'm gonna keep a close
Hey, hey.
eye on you. Chief Fox, I followed all our department's procedures and stayed within the law. If you feel I handled these calls improperly, then please provide me with any additional training and procedures that would guide me how I should have handled it.
Veo el-
Nobody likes a
Víctor no está-
smart-ass
de-
Barkley.
también.
Go start your shift.
No,
You have
sí
a lot
está-
of
estás
follow-ups
viendo-
to
no,
do now
sigue
for
sin
this.
di-
You have a lot of
me vale
follow-ups to do now for this case. It can't be doing that shit at night.
Bro, I love like stereotypical
Oh, I love
police
it.
settings.
Now I
like,
got
you're off
paperwork.
this case.
I got
I'm out of
paperwork
order,
at the
you're out
ass,
of order.
Barkley. Listen here. The mayor's at my ass.
This whole department's coming apart.
Yeah, exactly. We're falling apart at the seams, and the mayor's up my ass.
You're off this case.
You're back on it. Now you're off.
You're on the case. You're off the case. You're on the case again. No one's on the case. Everyone's on it. No one's on it.
You get off the case. All right, come here.
Get
you're
on the
back
case. All right, now that you're on it, now get off it. I wanted you on so I can put you off.
I have so much paperwork.
That's got to be like crack to like throw a mustache, be on a department
Oh
for
my
years, and
God.
then yell at like some rookie, you're off the case.
Oh,
It's
man.
got to be.
If I was a 58-year-old man with a stash, and I was just like, you son of
El
a
otro día
bitch.
vi una teoría.
The mayor
Teoría.
is breathing
Dice
down my
que
neck, and now I got a stack of paperwork that's gonna take
a
me
los
the rest of
5K
the
de oro. O
goddamn
sea, si acumulas
week.
5K de oro.
I'm keeping an eye on you, Berkeley.
Sí, sí, no. O sea,
I
personal.
love that
Si acumulas 5K de oro, el juego te empieza a dar un interés de 50 por
I
segundo.
feel like. Hold on, I've got
Okay.
aviators. Should I put them on?
Ajá.
I think so. When you're a cop,
En serio.
Será.
got to.
Hold on.
If you're in cop energy, you gotta
O sea,
put on the
Ya estoy
aviators.
en esto,
Ganas
voy a
más,
poner
más,
otro.
más.
Nobody likes a smart ass, bro. Bo said broccoli. Nobody likes a smart ass, Barkley. Go start your shift. You have a lot of follow-ups to do now
Oye,
for this
300,
case. You can't be
ahorita. Voy a
doing
ver
that
si
shit
alcanzo a
at
llegar.
night. Get out of my office.
Relive the
Hello?
pain. Relieve the pain.
Oh, he had to get up to go get the aviators. Oh no, we gonna rock down to Electric Avenue.
Okay, that took much longer than I was originally expecting, but I found them. All right, that was definitely worth the time.
4
That was
meses.
definitely worth the time.
It was definitely worth it, 100%. What an asshole. I knew from the day city council hired
Tengo
me.
tu precis que me quieren pelear, verás.
Yeah, as I said, it's a small town, so the chief tends to do what city council tells him to do.
Es que ya me estaba viniendo
City
así.
council was eager to hire another female officer.
Oh, yeah.
And I don't think Fox was on board with their idea. I'm used to the sexism in these small towns, but I tolerate it
No
since
soy
my
opción.
That's so funny, me putting the shades on to be like, yeah, I'm used to the sexism in small but I tolerate it. Since my fellow patrol officers, for the most
Que
part,
nunca te digo si
don't
con
share
café no
Chief's
pega, loco.
criticisms. I decided to follow up the medical examiner's office to
Nadie
see
se
what
atreve a
information
dañar
they
algo.
had from the autopsy and the crime scene, since we didn't seem to have a
¡Ay!
copy of their
Esa pobre
report at our
salió
station.
súper vergada. loco.
Los
I called the chief medical examiner.
jinx. Casi se
Hey,
muere.
it's Officer Barkley from the Patch Lane case. Did you guys finish up the autopsy report? Yeah. Oh, okay. I didn't see a copy here at the station. Can you send it over? I'm pretty
¡Ay, ese nazo sí pega, loco!
That's my assistant's job.
Ya voy.
Right. How about I just swing by and pick it up? You can do whatever your little heart desires. Gotta be. That's gotta be.
Cuidado, no te mueras por una jinx que no vale nada.
All right, well, sexual harassment, got it.
Yo que dije, loco.
Medical examiner.
Me metí
You
un
want to tell
cuarto
me
de vida
about
ese
sexism in
entonces.
small towns? Because I know all about
Yeah, don't tell me about sexism in small towns,
De
sweetheart. I'm
favorcito
the
pedí
chief
que no
of
se mueran por una
sexual
jinx
assault.
que no vale
I'm the
nada.
chief of...
Ya había
I'll
metido TP.
accept you're sexual any day you want.
I'm
Y ya
medical
estaba
examiner.
mal parado vendido.
I'll examine you.
Media
medically.
vida al tarro, ese pobre
He's wearing
desgraciado
like a
del,
female body inspector shirt.
del Víctor.
Yeah, he's wearing either a female body inspector shirt or he's wearing the shirt that's like a tuxedo, but
Otros
it's
dos
just a
cas de oro
short sleeve shirt.
para...
Yeah. Yeah, it's like
Para
anytime you want.
I think the body's here somewhere.
Can we-
Why can't
Oh,
I
that.
think
Yeah, well, I
exactly
think
what
we
I
have that.
Oh,
I thought you
yeah.
meant. I thought you were talking about something else.
It's my
Yeah, we've
sister's
got
jobs, but he's actually getting me pizza rolls
Ah,
from
ya
the
compraste.
store right
Te
now.
ahuevaste a guardar 5K, ¿no?
Me ahuevé.
Ent-
Es que tenía
that. It's like
entendible.
overneath a
4,000
corpse, like
Entendible.
eating like warmed up Tostitos. It's like the
4,000
grease is
mililitros.
dripping all over the
Y
body.
salí con todo eso.
Good.
one breath and brush at a time.
The chief medical examiner wasn't exactly eager to help, but I grabbed my cruiser's keys and headed on over to the lab. The assistant was a young girl, fresh out of college, and greeted me with a smile.
Hello, officer. How can I help you?
Asked her for a
Hijo,
copy of
esa la de
Danny's
Ward
report
Best.
from Patch Lane, and she proceeded to enter some letters into her computer, then hit print. She handed me a 3-page document, so I asked.
Se cae medio,
Aren't
se
there
cae
more
medio.
pages?
Se muere el guacho.
That's it.
I found this very odd, considering most medical
Oh my God.
autopsy reports for a
Mierda,
homicide
no
case are all
alcanzo
well over 20 or 30 pages. I took a seat to look over the report, and I guess my confusion and anger showed on my face since the receptionist asked if there was a
¿Dónde
problem.
fallé a ese Nautilus?
So I reviewed the
loco?
autopsy report.
Tan
I
gordo
saw
que es.
that for the hair color, which was clearly long and blonde, they listed brunette. For eye color, they listed undetermined. I wish this was the end of the shit show, but the entire report seemed to be either wrong or just
¿Han
incomplete.
logrado alguna vez un juego
Manner of death
perfecto?
was listed as homicide, but the cause of
Yo
death
no.
was listed as undetermined.
Yo no.
What the hell?
A mí una
Isn't
sola
that
vez
their
en la vida
job
me
to
logró
determine
salir un
cause
juego
of death?
perfecto.
Corre,
medical
corre,
examiner's
muchachito
office
de
and knocked
patas
twice before
cortas.
walking in.
Ah, la, la, la,
Chief,
la, la, la,
is
la,
this
la,
a skeleton
la, la,
report
la.
from the
Juego
Patch Lane
perfecto
incident?
porque me acuerdo que terminamos,
Held up the
creo que fue
3-page
como
document in my hands
18-0.
showing. Skeleton
No- no
report
nos
is
tomaron
just a
una
basic
sola torre.
report cops will fill out prior to end of shift, and then the next
Eso,
day, with fresh
no
eyes,
nos
they
tomaron
fill
ni
in the
una sola
gaps.
torre ni un solo objetivo.
However, with the homicide case and being that this was now over 48 hours later, I didn't understand why they would only have a skeleton report.
Nope. That's the finished report, sweetheart.
I hate when old creepy men call me sweetheart.
Well, why is there no cause of death listed?
Creo que ya tengo para
Because thanks to
Shadow
you,
Flame, sí.
the body sat in a locked room for 3 days and left us barely any evidence to work with.
Why the hell is everyone blaming me for this?
ese rombo
And can
es
you
la rueda
explain why the
floja de
hair
este
color was
carrito.
wrong and about half of these items are listed as undetermined? If you think you can do better, go right ahead. God, what is this police?
Nautilus se hizo un corazón de acero.
She's like the only professional person. She's like, am I the only person
No
actually
aguanta ni que le
doing
peguen
my
3
job
veces,
here?
quiere aguantar
He's like,
3
I
segundos.
took my
¿no?
crack at it. If you think you're better, go ahead, change it. I wrote it all in pencil. Erase whatever you want and write whatever you need down.
It's really funny because it's like, hey, you didn't list the cause of death. It's like, it's been a whole 2 days. You think we can tell after 2 days? Who are you?
Yeah,
Like,
exactly. What, I look like Harry Houdini?
do you think I'm
maldito,
Batman
me
or
hace
something?
mucho
World's
daño
greatest
solito.
detective? No,
Yeah,
ma'am.
come on.
How
You think
am
you
I
can do
supposed to
better?
tell?
Muriendo
You
mucho.
think I can tell how somebody died from a body? They gotta be alive to tell me that. Bada bing. Duh. Toots. And then she's like, okay, did you... Why did you say
Minuto
her
y
hair
medio
was
sale el
brunette?
bravo.
What do you want me to do?
Oh,
Look
God,
at
so
her?
what? We're gonna
I
get this
can't
semantics.
get-
I'm
first-
colorblind.
First, she wants me to be a magician, figure
I'm
out how she
colorblind.
died.
Did you
Then she
know
wants
that?
me to look at the body. Who they hiring down at the department these days?
Sweet.
Otro hambriento.
You're so much prettier when you smile.
Tumbo la wave de 2 pelos, no pasa nada.
Yeah, he immediately launches into like.
Sí, eso es una
Puta.
Has anyone ever told you you're the most beautiful woman I've
Oh
ever
my
seen?
God, you might be the most beautiful angel I've ever seen.
Denso.
Let me,
I'm
ma'am, let
surprised
me
God
just
let
say,
you come down from heaven.
Es un comado de
I don't
pelo.
mean to be too forward here, but you have an amazing.
Toma,
back.
hijo puta.
Can
Toma,
I say
perro
that?
asqueroso.
I don't mean to be too harsh, but it's just a fact.
I like to be very subtle. I
Este
would
tipo
love
de
to
puta
make
sí me
love
tanquea,
to
loco. Me bajó el ataque.
Tiene Spirit Visage.
And I hate to impose this question because I pride myself on my subtlety, but
Verga, no me alcanzo a meter en
Tiny
el
or are they the big pancake ones? Just tell
He's
me.
like, he's like taking his clothes off.
Yeah, she's like, with how everyone's acting so far, I would not surprise me. This
Ese
fucking
marico me
police
tanquea.
department sucks.
She's like, why did you list the hair color as brunette? And he's like naked, rubbing oil on himself.
He's like, yeah, coconut oil's great for the skin, sweetheart.
I would like to take you on a date tonight. What do you say?
Es que
I'm
somos
gonna
tres
take
de
you
la
to the
pena.
fanciest restaurant you've ever
Todos.
been. It's called Olive Garden.
Solo el guacho.
3 breadsticks, sweetheart. You like bread? She's like, do I like bread? Oh yeah. They even put leaves in there. She's like, it's spices. It's
Ya
oregano.
fueron por trago.
No, leaves.
Leaves. They put leaves in there. Then if you get the potato soup, you can dip the bread in the soup, and then it's a whole other world. It's a different ballgame.
If you can get potato soup, you can get cabbage soup from Olive Garden. She's like, are you eating like a Depression era person at a restaurant? I would like the edge of a loaf of bread and a bowl of your finest cabbage soup. Thank you.
As simple as black and white.
What do you mean they sell pasta here?
What is it, wet bread? I don't like that.
Disgusting.
Yeah, get the fuck
Llegó
out
por
of
atrás
here.
del.
Off the case.
Sáquenmelo de encima del Nasus.
Yum.
Okay, where was I? Okay, yeah. I asked to go see the body. And I wanted to make sure I wasn't just making shit up.
Ya
in my own
mismo
head.
también.
Ya no tiene.
Shockingly, he agreed and took me over to the freezer. Again, small town, so the morgue only had about 5 bodies in the freezer.
Puta madre.
That's a lot of bodies, I feel like.
Good God.
For a small town to have in the freezer.
There's 70 people who live in this town.
Muérete, hijo de
There's
puta.
5 bodies already.
Todo, Víctor.
We had an 8% casualty event last night.
Sí.
I
Estaba
do
de
not know
nuevo.
how we are going to
Pequeño
economically recover
cohetazo
from that
en otra línea de
DUI.
tiempo.
El Nasus hizo full ML.
Of the 5 people are dead, that includes the mayor,
Yeah, the mayor,
his secretary,
the head of commerce, and the owner of the bank. We don't know
as
how
well
to
as
get into the...
well as the pastor of 3 churches in the region.
Pero nos cargamos al Nasus.
One of them was
Claro.
Jewish. We don't know how he did it. That's how good he was. We'll never recover.
Oy vey.
It's again.
Others fall to pieces.
There's a body in there that's in both like a priest garb and like a Jewish synagogue.
He's
outfit
a
at the same
rabbi
time.
and a priest. How the hell did you do it, Rabbi Priest?
23 tengo último. Digo, TP.
Okay, we have,
He
I
is
have to get,
talking.
we have to lock
We're
in on
gonna-
the story a little bit. This is we were pushing it with the bug thing last time.
Yeah,
I
we
feel
were
like
gonna
this
be
is a
pissed
bridge
now.
too far.
I know everyone's
Double
mad.
voy, se acabó.
Whatever.
La...
Leandri también.
Sorry that we're having
No,
a
hay
good
otro ítem que
time.
da penetras.
I found our Jane Doe
Este,
from
verás,
Patch
este
Lane and
es
zipped open the
mind.
bag. I immediately
Ah,
noticed her
estamos-
blonde hair. I knew I wasn't crazy.
Eso te
Grabbed
puedo
some
escribir
latex gloves and
aquí.
began to go through her pockets to look for identification since clearly
no,
the
ahorita mi
Emmy's
ultimate
office
tiene que cerrar,
decided
sí,
it
sí.
was undetermined
Claro.
if she had items in her
Este
pockets.
debería yo en vez del Void,
Found a
creo.
receipt from a gas station.
Pero el Void te da
10 gallons
porcentaje, o
of
sea,
gas
fuera,
price
creo que es
porque
mejor
no,
el
no,
Void.
No,
I actually felt
Claro.
jealous of this dead woman, wondering where she found to get gas that cheap. Man, that I don't know what that hurt. Then I looked up top of the receipt and saw the date stamped as 10/20/1998.
So what,
Why the hell
20 years
would-
ago?
20 years ago, yep. Why the hell would she keep a receipt
Ya
that
la Jinx
old?
tiene media vida, loco. Le
Flipped the
di un
receipt
cachito
over
de
and
la-
saw there was some type of writing, like in pencil on it, but I couldn't
Aquí
make it
está
out.
guardeado también.
Put the receipt in a baggie and decided I was going to send it out to the PA State Lab for further testing to see if they could decipher
Maldito,
what
se
was
escondió
written.
en la brush.
More
Ah,
looked
estás
at her.
muriéndote otra
I
vez
also
con el
noticed
Víctor,
she was
loco,
wearing
ya.
bleached jeans with a multicolored
Vete, vete,
sweatshirt,
freezer.
like what my mom used to dress me when
Loco,
I was
es
young.
como si no quisiera
Left the
morirme.
Baja
freezer
con
pero-
su face.
barely filled my own fingers and asked Chief Emmy if he had copies of their attempts to identify the body, Dr. Molding's fingerprints, DNA test, etc. Handed me over a stack of some papers and said,
Good luck. Why are there only 6 fingerprints? Why didn't you do all 10 like normal?
Ay, ay, me están pegando.
Why did you check the lock of the door while you were 3 days? God! What is this? This is the most fucking petty police department of all time. Well, why didn't you check the lock of the door while you were there 3 days ago? I don't tell you how to do your job, so why the hell are you gonna try to tell me how to do mine? What is this?
It's insane. He's literally like, look, you couldn't find the body, so I'm gonna not identify
Yeah, exactly.
it.
We didn't
Potato,
check that.
potato.
I left out 4 fingers. Even Stevens. Clean slate.
Asshole. I decided I was gonna redo her fingerprints since the ones he handed me looked shitty and weren't even complete. It's usually more thorough than this, and I have no idea why it feels like I'm the only one even trying to solve this case anymore. Fingerprinted all 10 of our Jane Doe's fingers and ran them through my mobile automated
Loco, fui
fingerprint
con una misión
identification system.
kamikaze de tumbarme el
I was
inhibidor y salí vivo.
pleasantly
Agradecido.
surprised to see that I got a hit, so I clicked see more and my screen read. Michelle Klein, date of birth, July 5th, 1972. Date of death, October 20th, 1998. What the hell? Interesting.
End of part 2. So this is, so wait, let me ask you this. With everyone being so fucking up in arms and stuff, do you think that the story is trying to bait and switch you, like, oh, the police department's in on it? Or do you think it's just a comp? Like, do you think that the police department is trying to hide something? Or do you
The
think
police
there's just
department's
ignorance?
100% in on it. 100%.
You think so?
This guy being like, oh, what, you want me to do my job? Are you crazy?
Yeah, what the
Like,
hell?
yeah, that's 100%. This is undoubtedly police department malfeasance. I do think, as far as like the case itself goes, there's some weird time wibbly wobbly stuff going on. I think.
El Naso
It's
saltó.
like he died in
Muro saltó el muro, Naso,
1998.
cuidado.
The clothes are from 98. The receipts from 98.
Eso,
So yeah, I think
Protégeme del Naso si
this is
estamos, loco.
Yeah.
Ah,
some
está
weird
bueno.
time warp thing that's happening.
Te tengo.
I don't know exactly what yet. Maybe she died then. She was dead for 2 days. It's
se
not
me
like the
olvidó,
body's been
pero
there for 20
bueno, ok.
days,
Estamos bien,
right?
estamos bien.
Or maybe there was something that preserved her body perfectly.
Bien.
But then why would the date of
Podrían
death
acabar la
be
partida, la verdad.
that won't make sense.
Okay.
So I feel like this is maybe it's like maybe it is an old case that like the body repeated itself, was like copied over into the house or something. I don't know, but I am interested. Part 3. Update. August 13th, 2018.
Aún así, qué casco de
I woke up
ese Naso.
Friday evening, groggy with a pounding headache. I'm beginning to think the bottle of wine I finished Thursday night wasn't such a great idea. That's the thing with cops. We come across horrible scenes that we can't rationalize or explain, whether it be murdered children, abusive husbands, finding a 20-year dead body, we turn to alcohol. Me personally, I turn to a nice dark Merlot. Is that how it's pronounced? Merlot? Merlot?
Yeah, I think it's Merlot. Yeah, I think you're right.
I couldn't stop wondering how the hell that body could have died 20 years ago. It was fresh. I could still smell it. Made
Todos menos el
absolutely no
rojo.
sense. Grab my keys with my left hand as I wedge my right hand fingers between my duty belt and uniform belt.
Iron
Get
One.
my last belt keeper snapped in place before
Oye,
running
ese
out the door
Víctor ha
to
hecho
make
más
it
daño
to
que
roll
yo, qué
call
loco.
on time.
Sí jugaba
Driving
bien.
to the
Sí, el
station,
man pegaba
all I could
durísimo.
think about
Tenía
was
maestría
no way my
demasiado,
mobile
¿no?
AFIS was correct. I decided that as soon as roll
Get
call
out the
ended,
baby,
I was
Víctor.
going to grab a different mobile AFIS from the Batcave, the not so
this
creative
baby
name we called the
son.
room, with all of our tools, gadgets, and weapons, and scan my Jane Doe's fingerprints again.